Hello. This is Below the Line, and I'm George Peroulas. In these first few seconds of the show, I would normally explain the upcoming topic and guess who will appear. But today is a special day. This episode of Below the Line is our finale for this season. I'll share memorable moments, guest quotes and updates, a recap of all the great information we have learned this past season. It's all coming up next on the season finale of Below the Line.
It's Below the Line with George Peroulas. On tonight's show,
Welcome to the season finale of Below the Line. This has been an amazing season. I never imagined how incredibly rewarding producing and hosting this show would have been when I first started planning it 18 months ago. So many of you have reached out in support of this show concept, and I thank you for everything you have done to make it succeed. Today, we'll take a look back and remember the different people who came and sat on this couch. And now, let's reminisce to the season that was. One aspect that I encourage my guests to do was to be as honest as possible about their career and experiences, the good and the not so good, no matter how harsh it may sound. This is a tough business after all, with a lot at stake.
Making the film should be your love. Everybody has to get along. When you're in an edit and you're looking for that little piece of something that's just right, and it's not in take 3, but it's in take 9, you say, thank God I shot 10. So you have to do your homework, because you need to have patience, because the downtime is excruciating sometimes, and the clock is ticking. And since you're dealing with your clients and you're dealing with your executive producers, and this whole thing is about God bless America for profit, this is all about making money, not breaking even. When you're looking at the clock tick and you're in golden time, and it's costing you 10 grand an hour, and you're saying to yourself, let's finish this, please. You cannot lose it. People in the business have a tendency not to remember who you were. Directors get a lot of money to get paid a certain something, but it isn't to direct the film. It's mostly to be responsible for every aspect of it. That's why they get paid so much. And some of these casting sessions are not casting, it's trolling. It gets to be too many people, and it's just too much information for these people to actually discern who they're going to use. It's just too much. Most people don't know. They just don't know, and they say, oh, I think it's going to be this kind of a person, that kind of person. There's many, many, many people that try to service this industry, and not all of them are particularly cool when it comes to casting, because it's so subjective, just subjective. Is an old rule that the man with the gold makes the golden rules. It's hard work. Everybody gets a shot at directing once, but you may never direct again.
After 8 years being a PA, I got into being an assistant director, and now I'm producing, and I'm a first AD. Transitioning from PA to an assistant director is a very involved process. You need 600 days in order to get into the Directors Guild, and it takes, just like I said, 8 years of working in this industry. You have to have some experience in the industry. The first assistant director's role on a feature film is first and foremost to break down the script, which is an involved process. You're going to have to figure out exactly how many props are in the scene. You're breaking down all the shots. For the director, you're basically the liaison between the director and the crew, and what happens. You're running everything that's going on as far as the coordination and logistics go. You're also going to have to scout locations, and you've got to think on your feet. It's a very involved job. Another important aspect for an assistant director too is getting things done on a schedule and sticking to that schedule, because in the film business, time is money. It's a high pressure job, that's for sure. In the Directors Guild, they have a pension and health care plan, And we've got probably one of the best healthcare plans in the country, and that's because most directors and assistant directors die at like in their mid-50s. So
Oh, wow.
I think that's why the coverage is so good. It is a stressful job. This business is all about rapport, but it's really all about that connection, that artistic connection that you have with that person.
I went to college, got my degree in theater, and then went to New York and waited tables for 12 years. I've quit this business so many times because it can get depressing. You know, there's a lot of rejection, a lot of times when you're not working. But I keep getting sucked back into it. I keep coming back to it. I work at it like a job. 90% of an actor's job is trying to find the next job. We spend so little of our time actually working that our real job is trying to find the work, which includes auditioning, it includes sending out pictures and resumes, it includes having a website and keeping in contact with casting directors, keeping in contact with your agent. It's a full-time marketing career. And you really have to run yourself as a small business. You are marketing a product. The product is you. So there are literally thousands of actors for hundreds of parts. Most of your time will not be spent acting. This is not a career for the faint-hearted, and it's not a career for the untrained. It's not enough just to be at the right place at the right time. It's not enough just to be the right look, although that's important. Mm-hmm. It's important to have the goods once they hire you. Otherwise, they won't hire you again. But so many people will think about going into acting as a career without learning how to act. That's the interesting thing. You never know what's going to happen next. So it's a tough business. Hundreds of rejections. This is probably one of the most rejection-full careers that you could possibly go into.
When you get the role, you look at it as how is that person going to react in a scene. You know, it's all about being believable. And the best compliment that an actor can get is I believed you when you said that line.
It's a tough business.
Yeah.
Yeah. For lots of people.
Including me. And he said, well, we'll get in touch with you next week. And usually when they say, we'll get in touch with you, they're not coming.
Don't call us, we'll call you.
I had to memorize 3 pages of script. In 2 weeks, I had that whole script memorized. As soon as I got it memorized, I got another script through email, and I had to re-memorize that. They had rewritten the script. And then 2 weeks later, I had another script sent to me. I swear to you, it was like a nightmare. A week later, we went to film, and of course we got on set, and they changed some things there too, but it was okay. We filmed in 8 of the coldest days in January. I swear to you, I thought my fingers were going to freeze off. One day we were filming, it was 18 degrees wind chill. It was so cold. And they would take our coats off and it was just like miserable.
Well, it's a lot of fun because you have to do new challenges like memorize lines and everything. And you get to play characters that you maybe are yourself. I get to visit places I've never visited before. I like traveling up in the plane and everything and getting to see down below. Other kids are definitely competitive. Some kids I've met have been competitive and have been mean to me and everything, but other kids have been really nice. I like acting for fun. My main goal in life is to win an Oscar, because that's an amazing goal to reach.
Yeah, me too. You hear that, Academy? We're ready.
It's not all fun and games. I was on and off set all day, but 19 hours, that's more than half the day. If you're playing around all day, and sometimes the directors will say, like, I will fire you and get you another kid,